Hey, and welcome to Insurance Town. I'm the Mayor, Heath Sharon, and the host of this podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, super excited you're hanging out with us today as we have a really cool guest coming in and a little different of a topic today. So I can't wait for you guys to hang out with me and Chris Marino as we talk about some really cool ideas with life insurance and how you can help expand your book of business into, some different ideas there. So before we get into that, I want to talk to you about my friends over at Smart Choice. Smart Choice is a network of over 10,000 independent agencies. That's a lot, guys. And over 120 carriers. Their agency partners represent more than 11 billion. Yeah, that was with a B in written premiums. They are the fastest growing agency network in the nation for a reason. Their friendly contract puts agency partners first. Grow your book, increase your revenue, be able to put your own clients first by partnering with Smart Choice. Guys, also my friends at Canopy Connect. Canopy Connect is your one-click solution to getting those deck pages you need to quote your prospects. And not only are you getting the deck pages, the loss runs, which amazing. You get loss runs now from commercials, and they're expanding their carriers that work with them on that. You can also get driver lists. You can get anything that they would have on their deck pages. You're going to get that right into your very own dashboard. And you can create customizable links for your clients, for your referral partners, for your prospects. One click, and you get all the information that you need. It is a phenomenal product that I can't tell you enough how important it is. So please, I challenge you to go to usecanopy.com/Heath, get a demo, get a discount, and make sure that you are part of the Canopy Connect family and what they're doing. And they're revolutionizing so many things in the customer journey. Check that out. Also, guys, I've got some that'll come later on in the show with my other incredible sponsors. Guys, I'm going to jump out of the way here, and I want you to hear this conversation that we just had. So I know it's good with my friend, Chris Marino. So Austin, Texas, right? That's where you're from?
Yep, that's so we have an office in Orange County in Austin, and I'm in the Austin office.
Okay, so can you tell me or the audience? I'm from Arkansas, so we're neighbors. But what is the whole keeping Austin weird or keeping it weird? Like, what is that all about? Like, are y'all just proud?
Yeah, so I've been here since 2007, back when it actually was weird. It's not so weird anymore, but back in the day, Austin was home to obviously the University of Texas, so a lot of young, smart people, government jobs, and then a lot of artists, both music and other artists, right? So we're in a very conservative state. We're kind of like the liberal oasis within the red state. So it was always weird in comparison, really, to the rest of the state. And it was about Austin's desire to not conform to be another Dallas or Houston.
Yeah, so I had the opportunity. I've always wanted to go. Now I'm gonna date myself here and age myself a little bit here, but back in the day, I watched The Real World Austin, and way back in the day.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to go, and they always went to like this place called the Dizzy Rooster or something to party. I always wanted to go, and I had a chance last year to go to, stayed on 6th Street, did the whole thing. Man, you guys know how to have a good time. And instead of complaining about late night noise, we just stayed on the balcony and hung out with everybody and had a great time.
Yeah, Dizzy Rooster's still here. We've got 6th Street actually has 3 different districts. It's got what's called like East 6th Street, which is east of 35. It's got what it's called Dirty Six, which is like the original 6th Street. That's where the Dizzy Rooster is, and it's still, old school bars, probably from the 70s or 80s, not highly renovated. And then you've got West 6th Street, which is all probably done post 2005. So we've probably got about 100 bars and restaurants probably in a mile or 2 radius.
Yeah, dude, super cool area. But as we're getting into this a little bit, why don't we take a walk down memory lane? Let's learn a little bit about Chris. Let the audience know.
Yeah, man. So I got out of school in 2006, Heath, and I wanted to get into financial services. Didn't really know what I wanted to do, like a lot of kids coming out of school. But I was able to get on with a group here in Austin, Texas, that was actually buying life insurance policies from investment banks like Deutsche, Credit Suisse, KBC. This is pre-2008, right? And banks were bundling life insurance policies just like they were bundling mortgages. So when I got into the space, it was initially working on the behalf of those banks to source insurance policies. Now, 2008 happened. Obviously, that changed the financial world. The investment banks were out of that space, and I, like a lot of other people, were trying to figure it out. Now, the group I was with here in Austin had a high net worth estate planning background, so they kind of fell back upon that, and I kind of followed suit. I really liked the guys. Obviously there were a lot of changes happening. I didn't want to completely switch industries, but as you can probably recall, it was a tough time for anyone working in the space. So yeah, I stayed on. Initially helping my mentor and I guess boss for lack of a better term with his clients, but as it kind of grew and I was in my early 20s, I didn't necessarily have the passion or the skill set for dealing with clients because obviously it's completely different than dealing with another professional. So what we developed was an MGA or a BGA, a managing general agency. So what that basically means is we found other agents that we'd either worked with in the past or that we found now that had high net worth or other complicated life insurance cases, and we helped them place that and made overrides. The other thing is we did continue in the life settlement space. We built some portfolios for some private family offices and other groups like that. So I kind of transitioned. I wasn't working directly for the investment bank, but obviously working with investment banks into more of a wholesaler, general agent. And then we did still continue to do life settlements as well. Initially on the buy side, again, we did worked for some prominent, Texas family private offices, and then also worked on behalf of clients that wanted to sell policies into the secondary market. So I did that. I was with that group for almost 15 years. About 3 years ago, we started Toro Point, and basically doing the exact same thing with some of the same agents as well as a lot of new ones. So I've always kind of been in the financial services space. I've always been involved with life insurance in one form or another, but obviously maybe a little bit different than the average life insurance producer.
Yeah, and I love hearing that. There's so much I wanted to break into a little bit there, but I guess I'll start with, because I'd say a majority of my audience is going to be PNC agencies. I know you
Yeah,
work with some PNC agencies and help
absolutely.
them to round out their portfolios and cross sell and stuff like that. But I guess I wanted to start off my first question because I got an audience all over the country. And so different areas, obviously, high net worth means a different thing to different people. And
Sure.
so to start off there, if you're looking at that, what would you consider high net worth?
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it very well yourself, right? Depending on where you are, that can mean a lot of different things. Um, our average case size is probably 5 million with a target premium of around 100,000. But at
Okay.
the same time, we work on cases as small as 250K to 500K. And one thing I didn't mention earlier is prior to joining Toro Point, we actually had an agency that had a top level commercial PNC guy from Aon, as well as
Okay.
my mentor, who was a estate planner life insurance guy. And one thing I found, and I've heard this many a time, and I've seen it in my own career, is PNC and life, for whatever reason, each side struggles to understand the other and struggles to cross sell. So we've had a lot of success working with PNC agents. They have the ear of the business owner. They're taking care of obviously important things, but a lot of them either don't know how, don't want to, or just not used to selling life insurance. So we work on a referral basis with both PNC and life agents around the country. Sometimes I'll personally go, especially with the groups here in Central Texas, I'll personally go meet with their clients. If not, kind of like today, there's a lot of opportunities to do stuff over video calls.
We're in a super hard market,
Yeah,
to where it's very difficult. We've got a lot of carriers pulling out, rates are
yeah,
through the roof, a lot of that going on right now. And it's not the easiest time right now. Now, there's some agencies that are thriving in this hard market and they love it,
sure.
eat it up. And there's some that are really struggling. And I guess it depends from agency to agency, state to state. Now, in the financial and life insurance world, are y'all affected in the same way? Or is it kind of like market proof, so to speak, or recession proof, or whatever it might be?
Yeah, I mean, we're fortunate enough that when you are working with truly high net worth people, a lot of them are getting richer in this market, and
Yeah,
they're certainly not getting poorer. So our life insurance business has not really been negatively affected. I mean, obviously, maybe kind of some of the more middle markets stuff we do is a little tougher, but because we are mainly in the high end, high net worth space, those people are not really affected. You know, you have estate tax laws that are currently, I think, at 13 per person, 26 per couple. That's supposed to potentially be cut in half next year.
that's
That's what,
interesting.
yeah. So we have not been affected. And if that does, now obviously it depends on what happens with the election and other things, but if that estate tax actually goes down and the people have a lower exemption, our business would actually go up. But currently, I would say we have not been negatively affected. We have probably not really been affected at all, not positively or negatively.
What's some advice you might be able to give them to even that conversation started about life insurance in a way that may not be so intimidating? As you mentioned earlier, a lot of PNC agents may struggle with
Yeah.
the life where they say, I don't want to do it. Talk to me through that a little bit. Maybe give some advice on what you think a good way to start that conversation.
Yeah, so if I was a PNC agent, you know, with the it depends on whether you're doing obviously commercial or residential. Let's just say you're doing commercial, right? You already have the ear of the business owner. They're already trusting you. You know, PNC you have to have, right? For the most part, life is optional. So they're already trusting you with what they need to have, what's most important to them, right?
Right.
So that's a great start. So I would take a look at your book of business, look at the business owners, and the first thing to start with is if they have a partner, do they have a buy-sell agreement in place? If they don't have a buy-sell agreement in place, that's the first place to start. Because say, Heath, you and I are partners. Let's just say I pass away. You might not want to be in business with my wife or my kids. So what we could do is do a buy-sell whereabouts if one of us does pass away, we use the proceeds to buy the other families out. So that's where I would start. I would probably then look at key men. Is the business owner a key man? Do they have a key man in their business that if they lost them would cost them millions? So we're still talking business insurance, key man buy sell, but now we're talking life insurance. And that's where I would start if I was a PNC agent.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. And I think it's so fascinating to me, whether you're on the individual or the personal line side or the commercial side or benefit side. I think it's fascinating how many different ways people use life insurance nowadays. It's not just a death benefit anymore. People use it, like you said, for buy sell agreements, for key man, to fund transactions. They use it for this or that. They can also build cash value and cash that out to buy things. You can do it. I've seen people do, the reverse life policies or something like that. There's different things that people do with that. And I think it's fascinating because no more, I mean, when I first got into it, 20 some odd years ago, it was more of, we got life insurance policy for when you die, and the whole thing was term versus whole life. And now there's so many different use cases. And so I'd love you to talk to you a little bit about what you're seeing. What are some of those unique use cases? Maybe they've struck out in the conversation with quoting your work comp or quoting your business insurance. Maybe they can say, hey, well, what do you think about blah? Can you talk to me through that?
Sure. So, I mean, obviously, the key man buy sell would be the easiest point of entry. But the
Yeah.
number one product we write, probably 80% of our business, is Index Universal Life. And as you may recall, it used to be term and whole life, and then you had variable life, right? And with variable life, you have basically an investment chassis with an insurance wrapper, right? The problem with variable life is you can go plus 20 or you can go minus 20. So you can lose your butt in that insurance policy. Now, the beauty of an index universal life policy is it has a 0% floor. So you're never going to lose money within that. Now, you are going to get capped at around, depending on the policy, 10, 12%, but it's a safe investment product within an insurance policy. And because it is an insurance policy, it is tax advantaged, and you can actually grow and withdraw your money tax-free if you take your money out in the form of policy loans.
So is it similar to like a fixed index annuity?
Yes, except for the difference here is that you are going to link to like the S&P 500, and if it does minus 20, right, you'll zero. If it does plus 20, you'll 12. Well, the reality is over time, it does 7%. And if you can do 7% tax-free, if you look at financial advisors last year averaged between 1.5 and 4% for their clients. Hedge funds did on average, I believe, 5.5, 6%. So you're
Wow.
talking about paying people to manage your money that can't get you the return that the NASDAQ or the S&P did, which was obviously 20+%.
Yeah. The situation though, if I'm understanding correctly, and for my listeners, most of the PNC agencies are listening, and I know I do have hello to the life insurance guys listening. You're probably understanding this right now, and I'm glad. But the PNC guys listening, they probably just have their PNC license. Maybe they have
Sure.
their life and health, but I mean, stuff you're talking about, do you have to have a special license for that to sell that? And that may be intimidating for someone to say, I don't have time to do that. Would you suggest that they broker that with a true financial person? Or can they still, like, what do you suggest in that scenario?
Yeah, every PNC agent's different, right? If you don't have your
Yeah.
life and health, that's different. If you do have your life and health, obviously you can go on, be the agent. We'll be the general agent, right? Now, if you don't, we can still go on and write the case for you. And obviously you could bring us in or another financial advisor. So my advice would be, first of all, for the PNC guys, especially if you're looking to diversify your book, get your life license first and foremost. If That would be my number one piece of advice. And that way you can cross-sell yourself. If you don't want to do that, you still want to provide this service to your clients and maybe make some referral fees, then you would want to partner with a high level, life insurance agent or I would say financial advisor, but I would really look to partner with someone that is life and health specific, that'll kind of be the yin to your yang, that can complement you, that you can send referrals back and forth with.
In our space and on our podcast, and I talk about this a lot, is talking in niches and verticals, so to speak. And I talk about that a lot with commercial agents and even my PNC, the personal lines agents, whether it's high net worth or it's non-standard auto or whatever it might be. But could life insurance or what you're talking about be a niche within an agency and they bring in a life agent specifically for that instead of a PNC agent out of their comfort zone? And then maybe you bring in the life guy. You say a PNC should at least have a general idea so they can at least start the conversation, then do a handoff.
Yeah, I think any way you did it could be profitable. If it was me and I had my own PNC agency, I would probably first look to partner with someone so that I'm not having to incur the cost of having someone in-house. But if I was able to grow my revenue within the life insurance space, I would either A, get my license so that I can split commissions with my referring partner, or B, bring someone in that's life specific. That way, the agency can still collect the commissions and have someone, probably even more importantly, on standby. But I think the reality is a lot of life agents would love to have a referral agreement with the PNC shop. So so that would be my first step. And then if it went really well, depending on my relationship with that person, I would either formalize it to the point where I got my license or the agency had the license so we could get a piece of the commissions. Or if it was going extremely well, then yeah, I think you could look to bring someone in full time.
Yeah, and that's another source of contention in PNC. Right now, you're seeing, carriers are, and again, it's not banging on carriers. They're struggling too, and they're having to do the best they can. So I'm not here to bang on carriers. So talk to me a little bit about, and let the audience know that may be in the dark on some of these things. What's the commissions looking like on some of these products? Are you seeing any kind of hit in that financial area as far as commissions go from carriers? Kind of give me a little bit of a high level view of what these agents could be bringing to the table, revenue wise from a commission standpoint. We are at a mid-roll ad, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to talk to you about my friends over at Manscaped. Manscaped is the go-to solution for your grooming needs, whether it's your beard, whether it's your nose hairs, your eyebrows, your chest hairs, your nether regions, your anything, whether you're preparing for a swim meet or you're getting ready for conference season, or you've got a meeting tomorrow at such and such, or later this afternoon, you want to make sure you're looking your best and feeling your best. Go to manscaped.com. And that's not all. You also get 20% off plus free shipping by using the code MAYOR. Guys, I get an email or two every week from people saying thank you for introducing them to this incredible product. And yes, I had someone reach out to me this week like, hey, I saw Manscaped products at Target or at Walmart, but you don't get the discounts. You don't get the subscription model. You don't get some of the wonderful things that you get by going through Insurance Town. So make sure you do that. Also, my good friends over at Old School Marketing, I'm so glad they've stuck with us and they're here with us some more, because so many of you guys have started using them for your marketing needs, and they have handwritten cards, handwritten notes that they can send out to your clients on your behalf. That, you know, when you see this handwritten envelope, you open that up thinking it's a card from grandma, or you get excited because it's not a bill. And they open that up and it's your messaging. You can customize that to your clientele, to your prospects. You don't want to miss out on this. So go to oldeschoolmarketing.com. And when you check out, use Town 10 and get your discount. And make sure that you let Rusty know that I sent you. Now let's get back to the show.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we're not seeing any cuts as far as life insurance commissions go. Life insurance is commissioned way different, right? PNC, whatever your number is, you're getting it every year, right?
Yeah.
With life insurance, you have a huge year one commission followed by a very small trailer, maybe 2-3%. So it's all about that first and second year target premium being paid. That has not been cut at all. Now, obviously, the commission level varies greatly in life insurance. You can start off probably around the 50%. And if you're a high level producer, get to the 100, maybe a 90 to 100, maybe even higher range. And again, that's on what we call target premium, paid in the first 2 years. So say you had a $100,000 target case, they pay $50K year one, $50K year two. So now all the target is paid, and the agent is looking at anything from 50 to 100% of that. Now, the year 2, 3, or excuse me, the year 3, 4, 5 is going to be much smaller. So you really are incentivized in this business to go out and write new business every year.
And that's a big mindset shift. Words are hard today. Sorry. But when you think about PNC agents, you see a lot of them, you know, they really rely on those larger commissions on the renewals, and they really build out pipelines, and they build out their automations, and they want to make sure they're touching those clients every year to make sure they keep that business, because that's great commission still coming the door.
Yep.
You know, talk to me a little bit through that. Like, first of all, that mindset of like new business only type of thing. And then do you know, on the life insurance side, what is the strategy on the renewal side? I mean, obviously, if it's a whole life or a term, you're probably going to keep them anyway. But is there a strategy there, or is there touch points you have with those clients throughout the year?
Yeah, and I think again here you're seeing why PNC struggled with life and why life struggles with PNC, because it is so different in almost every way. It is a bit of a mindset shift. So generally, we do a yearly policy review with each client, regardless of what it might be. But you are incentivized to write new business in life insurance. So naturally, you're looking to find new people. You're looking for your existing clients to make a referral. You're looking, you know, for the next prospect. Whereas with PNC, your number one concern is keeping what you have, right? You want to keep your book. You want to keep all those people happy. Now, obviously, with life insurance, you want to keep all those people happy too. But financially, you are much more incentivized to always be writing new business. So it is an eat what you kill. Every year. You don't quite start from zero, but you're not having that. Let's say you made 100,000 in PNC last year. Well, if you don't lose anything, you'll make another 100,000. Let's say you might lose a little bit. At least you're starting at 90. If you made 100%, or excuse me, 100K in life insurance last year, you're probably starting at $5,000. So you've got to go out and eat what you kill all over again. So it is a totally different mindset. And again, I think that's why both sides struggle with each side. But again, why having a good referral partner, both for the life agent and the PNC agent, you know, allows diversification within the book, as well as keeping clients happy, and also diversifying how you get paid. Because if you are making, you know, 100K on PNC and you're able to write a $20,000 premium, all of a sudden you made 120,000, and that's a big bump. Whereas making that extra 20,000 on PNC is going to take probably a lot more cases and accounts.
Yeah, I think a lot of agencies that are, life and health driven or financial planning driven, with all of that upfront coming in and those larger commissions on the front end, it's a different mindset as far as, and a different strategy as far as managing the book, managing your funds and making sure you put aside some, and making sure that your profit and loss sheet looks different, and that your payouts are different for your producers. There's a lot of different thought process there as far as putting aside, so to speak, and not spending it. It's just a different thought process.
Yeah, it's a completely different mindset. I mean, I was on a salary maybe for a couple of years, but I've been completely, for 15 years, been 100% commission. So for me, it's normal. I know that if I make a big commission, that doesn't mean I can go spend it all. But
Right.
to your point, it is a completely different mindset from the PNC guy who might sign up a 10,000 commission account and knowing that, as long as I don't mess this up, I have 10,000 coming in every year for the next 10 years. Whereas if you make 10,000 in life insurance, you know that next year to make that 10,000, you're going to need a new client or another policy on an existing client.
Yeah, and I think that's what does cause the disconnect for PNC agents, because like you said, it is a different mindset. And so, when I talk to PNC guys, and some of them may have dropped off this, I don't know, because they have that like, oh, life and health is so difficult, but or it's a different mindset, or it's this or that. I don't know it, but I'd love for you to let's put on your sales hat on the in general
Yeah.
life insurance and selling a PNC agency on why they should look at getting into life insurance as a vertical or as another source of revenue or source of income. If you could, sell my PNC guys listening right now why they should.
Yeah, I mean, first there's a couple things, right? So selfishly for the PNC agent, you want to have more than one way to make money, right? Secondly, you already have the ear of this business owner, which for us in the life insurance space can be some of the hardest, sledding. The hardest part for us sometimes is getting in front of the right people or getting the right people to trust us. As a PNC agent, you've already got the business owner's trust, right? While life and PNC may seem very different than to us from the outside world, they're correlated, right? It's just another insurance product. So it wouldn't be crazy, Heath, if you were a business owner and I was your PNC agent, to say, when I'm doing your annual renewal, hey, we took a look at everything. This is what the PNC looks like. And oh, by the way, do you have a buy-sell agreement with your business partner? Do you have a key employee, and is that person covered? So again, you diversify your book, you help your clients, you create more commissions, and you create more opportunities for yourself and your agency. So it's a no-brainer, although I know how difficult it is having seen both sides. But my pitch would be quite simple. Do you want to diversify your book, and do you want to help your clients, and do you want to make more money? The easiest way to do that from a PNC agent, from my point of view, would be to offer another insurance product. Now, and keep in mind, the public probably doesn't even know that you need different licenses to write different things. We all know that. But most business owners are going to be open because they are already trusting you with their business. So to sell an additional, whether it's a personal or a business life insurance policy, again, while different to you and I, to them, you're going to be coming from the same neck of the woods, even if you feel like you're not.
Yeah, and you've brought up some very interesting things. You brought up the key man and the buy sell, and we've talked about some other things there. But is there any specific, trends you're seeing coming down the pipe in 2024, 25, 26 that, maybe some of these PNC guys could latch on to? Any changes coming down the pipe, or any new and cool things that you're seeing in the financial and life insurance industry?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, that Index Universal Life product is only about 15 years old. I just happened to be getting into the space at the same time that product came out. It's a great product, right? Because it's
Sure.
got the ceiling, it's got the floor. You can grow cash tax free, you can withdraw it tax free, and you're covered. So it can be used as executive benefits. It can be used on a personal policy. You could have a combination key man executive benefit policy and do an IUL. So I would look at IULs. The other thing I would look at is for your wealthy business owners, if the estate tax does indeed get cut in half, you're going to have a large group of people that had no estate tax exposure that now in 24, 25, and 26 might have a large estate tax exposure. So those would be the two main trends. And again, I would keep in mind, and I think this is so important for the PNC guys to know that these guys trust you, and offering another insurance product, again, even though it seems outside your wheelhouse, to them is going to seem very natural.
The next question I would have, you've talked a lot about referrals, and I think that's a great way for PNC people. If they don't want to have the license themselves, if they don't have the licensed agent there already, refer that out to another, maybe work out some sort of split. And so I don't
Yeah.
know what's legal and not there, but I'm sure they could figure that part out. But my question to you might be, how would a PNC agent, what's some identifiers to know what a good life and financial planner agency is versus, maybe one that doesn't know so much? How do you identify? Do you have some tips or ideas on what to ask, what questions they might ask to feel comfortable with referring those high net worth or life insurance business?
Yeah, and that's a good question. So the first thing I would say is you got to educate yourself a little bit. You got to
Okay.
know a little bit about what's going on. And the more you know, the better you can filter, right? So the more you, and then the second question from there, I would ask, who are your clients? What type of policies are you writing? What's the average case size? How much money did you make last year? What's your revenue like? What's your premium? What's your total face on a yearly basis? What does your book look like? So you would want to get to know their business. And I think even most importantly, Heath, is you'd want to get to know them as a person. You'd want someone that you're comfortable with, um, that you can respect and feel like someone that you would be comfortable having over to your house for dinner, or meeting your family or meeting your clients. So I think the person is even more important than the knowledge, although they probably go hand in hand.
Yeah, I think that's good. Now, at Toro Point, do you guys offer any kind of?
Yeah, so Toro Point is a little bit niche, boutique-y. Most of our agents are at least six. A lot of them are seven-figure guys. But we are currently developing some technology that is case management CRM, and we are looking to break more into, call it, the middle markets. So we will have a technology offering that will, help you from a CRM and case management perspective. So that's something that we're doing. We also have we've got a couple offices, Austin and Orange County. We've got agents around the country. So we are happy to work with each agent as they need. And I think as our technology comes online, we will be very able to help some of these newer agents. Now we have a YouTube channel, and a lot of this is new. Heath, we're really trying to modernize ourselves. We have a YouTube channel. We have LinkedIn. I'm doing a lot of educational videos. We're posting a lot of educational blogs. And, as we move and grow, I would think that we have conferences, and we're always willing to do one-on-one meetings. We're kind of willing to meet the agent where they are.
Yeah,
Something that we pride ourselves on is we basically, whenever we meet a new agent, we've got young guys, old guys, six-figure guys, seven-figure guys, guys that aren't even doing six figures. Each agent has a different need. So as an MGA, one thing we really pride ourselves on is getting to know our agents and kind of fitting them like a glove. One person may need sales support. The other may just need illustrations. Some people need a lot of back office support. Some people don't need any. So we are very flexible and nimble, and we're designed by nature to be able to work with any type of agent.
and I'm glad to hear that. And I'd love to hear more. So if you don't mind kind of giving me, just so that the audience understands a little bit, now that you've kind of educated them on so much in this short amount of time, what is Toro Point? How did it, you told us a little bit how it came to be, but tell me a little bit about the services you guys offer and why someone would choose Toro Point over anyone else for the high net worth or your boutique type clientele.
Yeah, so Toro Point was founded with my partner Udi Dorner, who I'd known for about 10 years prior to founding the company. It was founded as a life insurance, MGA general agency, managing general agency, and a life settlement broker. And what we really pride ourselves on is, again, we've got all sorts of different agents. So not only do we offer top compensation, we have back office support, case management, illustration, as well as in-force tracking, and that's in addition to the technology that we're building. So as far as why someone would choose us, I really haven't met any. I don't want to say any, but I would say our close ratio is probably close to 90%. As far as if an agent fits us and we fit them, because first of all, we're willing to pay well, and I think money matters. Second of all, our back office support is second to none. um, we have the relationship with the carriers because we push so much premium to be able to get favors done. In addition to that, we run illustrations, we monitor the complete in-force book for all our agents so they know when premiums are coming up. And I think when we offer the technology, this will be highly usable for anyone. But we really pride ourselves on paying well, overperforming, back office, as well as technology. And we're also something I think that sets us apart is we're willing to invest into the right partner's business. We are willing to do capital investments and we are willing to help you grow in any way we can.
Yeah, I like that you talk about running illustrations. And so, like, and if I understand this correctly, so if I am, well, or helping with presentations, so if I'm, PNC, or if I'm out on a case and I feel a little bit or even slightly uncomfortable with the presentation of this product because I don't know it as well as I do home and auto
Yep.
or general liability and comp, you guys would come in on behalf of the agency and help out with presenting some of this and going through the illustrations and making sure it's understood.
Absolutely. Whether it's in person or via video call, we are willing to help any agent with their clients around the country.
I think that's fantastic. So you guys could come in as the life arm of an agency, so to speak, if you want to, if so to speak, if they wanted to say, hey, we can offer these products, but then you guys would kind of be outsourced as that arm.
Yeah, in fact, I partnered with, I'm in the Austin area. I partnered with an agency here. He does have his license, but he brings me in. I meet with his clients in person, and we split the comp down the middle. Now, obviously, we have offices in Texas and Southern California, so we're able to help in person there. We are willing to fly, obviously, if necessary. And then nowadays, with technology, we're always available via video call, and we are more than happy to. We have some agents and like my PNC guy where he sends us a phone number and a name, gives us a quick background, and we take it from there. We have other agents where we're much more hands off. But I think for a PNC guy, depending on your level of knowledge, you do want an expert, right? Because you're an expert in your field. And so
Yeah.
if you can't personally offer that high level of expertise, you want to bring someone in that can. And that's something that we can do. Again, we worked with producers at Aon, as well as small, personal lines PNC shops. So we've seen it all on the PNC end, and we've had success up and down the board.
Okay, I'm going to walk through a few things. I want you to, correct me on this or mythbuster me on this a little bit. But the old adage that I've heard, with PNC in life is if you mold those two together, right or wrong, let me know on this, true or false, or how you handle this. If the something messes up on the life insurance side, I'm going to lose the PNC, or vice versa. Have you heard that before, and how do you rebuttal that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's probable. But at the same time, I haven't heard that a ton to be honest with you, Heath. But from the PNC perspective, I could see that, right? Because you have a book, you're making your clip every year. If you offer a product that doesn't go well, do you then lose this over here? So I think a couple things. If you're gonna do it yourself, you need to get yourself to a level that you're on the same level as with life as you are with PNC. And if you're not willing to do that, you need to partner with someone that's at or above your level so that you are providing that type of service. And I do think that there is some risk there. But again, if you're doing quality work on both sides, I think you really mitigate that risk. Now, and the other thing would be if you do have that concern, you can write term policies. If you don't want to write some of the more advanced stuff like an IUL or a whole life that can do good or bad, you can write term policies. But I would encourage any PNC agent, again, you got to either get the knowledge or find someone that you can partner with that you can trust. The beauty about bringing someone in is that if you bring someone in and let's just say it doesn't go well, sure, that's somewhat on you, but it's not 100% on you. If you are doing 100% of both, then it is 100% on you. And while I think there is risk there, Heath, I think it's pretty small because if they don't go to you, they're going to go to someone else. And then what's the flip side of the coin? My PNC guy couldn't help me with life, or he didn't do a good enough job. I mean, either way, you're in a lose-lose situation. So if I was the PNC agent, again, I'd either get that knowledge myself, which I think is hard, or I would make sure I'm partnered with the right guy and also show some separation between the two.
Yeah, the other thing, I love it. Like, it's it's hard to prospect life and health.
It
What
is,
are your
but
thoughts on that? Like, tell me true, false. How do you handle that rebuttal?
if you're an agent with a book, you don't have to prospect. You just need to look at your book.
Sure, but if I hire a life and health producer and I want them to go get organic business, it's difficult because they're getting hit on or called on a lot for life and health, or for especially high net worth guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think but if it was easy, everyone would do it,
100%. I love
I
that.
mean, I do think it's hard. And that's again, I think you'd have to be really you'd have to be making depending on the agency, a large chunk of money before you had a dedicated life person. I think it makes the most sense for most P&C agencies to just have a great partner they can bring in. It doesn't cost them anything. They're not paying someone's office, health insurance, salary, or otherwise. If you're partnered with the right person, you're going to have a good split on the commission, and you're actually adding value to your client because you're saying, "Hey, I'm an expert in this area. And I'm going to bring in another expert in this area," and you just listen to them and tell me what you think. I'm trying to help you because we're already helping you with some of your insurance. We'd like to make sure that you're covered across the board on not only your business insurance as far as the day to day, but again, the key man buy sell personal life insurance policies as well. So I tend to think of things positively. You can always negatively spin it and say, what if? But I would also say, well, what if we do a great job? If I have the right partner here, not only am I going to make more money, but I'm going to be assisting my clients in a way I wasn't otherwise, therefore making myself even more important to them.
Yeah. The other thing, I just, there's so many things I get into this, but, and I'd probably spend another hour on this, but I love that you've been able to debunk some of this. So again, uh, if people want to continue the conversation with you or someone from your team, what's the best way for them to contact, whether it's you or someone else on your team? What's your team look like? I know you said you're in several states and you've got a lot going on there, multiple offices, but talk to me a little bit about the process there, what it looks like, how to get in touch with you guys if they want to learn more.
Sure. So yeah, we have physical office locations in Austin, Texas, and in Irvine, California, Orange County, California. Again, we do have agents across the country. You can reach me at chris@toropoint.com. That's TOROPOINT.com. You could also reach our general inbox at cases@toropoint.com. That's TOROPOINT.com. And I don't usually do this, Heath, but I'll go ahead and drop my cell phone if anybody wants to give me a call or a text. I'm reachable at 210-274-1473. And again, whether it's you want to have a quick 15-minute discussion to learn more, whether you have a client, whatever it may be, we're always happy to help educate and help other industry professionals.
Yeah, that would be, another question you brought up is, the guys listening, could it be a case by case basis, or do I need to commit to a certain volume to
No,
work with Toro
no.
Point?
If you have a single case, we will assist you with it, and we look at that as an opportunity to prove ourselves as well as make sure that we're all on the same page. And you don't need a laundry list or a book of business. If you say, "Hey, we have one client, we need one illustration," we'll work on it for you. If you say, "I've got 100 clients, I need 100 illustrations," we'll work on that too.
Awesome. I love that. And I'll put those email addresses, and I'm assuming the website is toropoint.com.
Yeah, and the
I'll,
website, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, but the website is www.toropoint.com. You can learn a lot about us on there. We also have a LinkedIn page and a YouTube page, all under Toro Point Financial. So we're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube, we have our own website, and then I obviously drop those direct contacts. But if you wanted to learn more about us, probably the easiest way would be to check us out online at www.toropoint.com. Check out our LinkedIn. YouTube's a little new, but you can check that out too. And again, if you want to contact us directly, we're happy to talk.
yeah, and I'll drop the links to those in the show notes so that people
Okay.
can, when they can see that if they want to. Tell me if there's anything else as we start to wrap up. Anything that I would love for you to have the floor to talk. Anything else about Toro Point and what you guys do? If there's anything that we left out, or anything that you want to share with the audience here, so that they could make that connection.
Yeah, the one thing we didn't really speak about, and it is a little high level, is life settlements. So life settlements is the concept of an existing life insurance policy owner selling their policy. That is something that we specialize in. So if you do have older clients and maybe they can't make premium payments, or they're thinking about letting the policy lapse, don't. The insurance company is going to give you pennies on the dollar. You can actually turn around and sell that in the secondary market for life insurance, and you can probably make on average 3 to 5 times what the surrender value is. So life settlements, Keith, maybe we can do another call sometime or a pod and talk about it. So life settlements would be one thing. And again, on the life insurance side, whether you're a PNC agent looking to refer some business, if you have your life and health and are just looking for an agency to run your business through, we are happy to meet with you and obviously tell you about us. Again, we pay very well. We've got excellent back office support, case management, illustration, enforced policy management. Again, physical locations in Austin and California. And we are licensed in all 50 states. So we're doing business across the country. So no matter where you are, we're happy to help you. Again, you can check us out at www.toropoint.com. Check out our LinkedIn, our YouTube. And I believe you have our other contact info.
Yeah, man. I may have talked to you off air about this life settlements thing, and then, maybe do another pod on that or a follow-up YouTube discussion on that too, on both of our channels or something. So, dude, I really appreciate it. I'm glad I've gotten to learn so much more about you, and I've been following a little bit since I found out about you. And I think you guys are doing some really cool things. And so whether you're life and health or whether you're a PNC guy or somewhere in between, I think it's a great idea to check out what's going on at Toro Point. Reach out to Chris and his team. Again, thank you so much for joining me today in Insurance Town. And I look forward to talking to you off air.
Absolutely, Heath, and thank you so much for having us on. We really appreciate it. I really enjoyed our conversation today, and hopefully your listeners enjoy, and I'm able to help them just a little bit.
Yeah, I love the value that you brought. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Heath.